Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat video. Today we're going to be showcasing the first upload in the Little Jungle Cup. I've mainly been sticking to Ultra League this week. Let me know if you guys have been playing Ultra League or Little Jungle, but we're going to be showcasing none other than the absolute Spice Lord, Grant, who in our Discord streams a lot of spicy battles, and today he's sending us in a very spicy showcase featuring Bidoof. Now Bidoof is quite an interesting Pokemon, and you're seeing that the moveset that we've got here is Crunch and Grass Knot. This Pokemon actually has not one, not two, not three, but 4 legacy charge moves. This thing can learn Super Power, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Thunderbolt, so this thing is an absolute bag of tricks. But we're going to go for Crunch and Grass Knot, which I think is quite decent in this meta, considering that Grass Knot will hit Ducklets and all of the Steel ground types for neutral damage, and of course Crunch is just quite a nice move with the opportunity to go for a debuff. By the looks of things, we're going for like a triple sort of weak to counter team, which will be quite interesting to see how we overcome those matches, where we inevitably run into Bidoof, which does seem to be quite popular in this cup. I'll be real with you guys, I played 2 games of this. I won one and lost one, and I looked at a few sort of streams and everything, and I just kind of decided I want to stick to Ultra League to kind of climb up elo. So hopping into the first match here. By the way guys, thank you very much for the support on yesterday's video. It was actually my best video in my last 10, showcasing Galarian Zapdos and Aurorus in the Ultra League. Usually my Ultra League videos don't do that great, but that was my best one in recent times, so thank you very much for all the support in that video, and a big shout out to everybody who's new to the channel, who's been subscribing recently, and everybody who just hits a like on the videos. It really does help out a ton. I love making videos here, and seeing that you guys enjoy them does make me very happy, and thank you very much everyone. So let's hop into the battles. What's Bidoof up to? He's going to go for this Crunch. By the looks of things, the opponent's got a Galarian Articuno, of all things, and we do get the debuff. Can we get off another move? We just about to reach another Crunch, and Bidoof is going to take out Articuno. This Pokemon is the true legendary, but the opponent shields it up, and we're going to probably look to spark it down here. It might be actually Thundershock on Togedemaru. The opponent will fire off a move. This should all be quite resisted, right? Ancient Power. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Well, it's not that fine, to be fair. It's done a ton of damage. And looks like we're going to let this go and put this all on the shoulders of our Galarian Stunfisk. Now, can we farm this thing the whole way down? The opponent will actually not get off another move. I thought they would have got off another move. And they're coming in with a Razor Leafer. Kind of one of the reasons I don't like playing this cup. You see a lot of Razor Leafers and fast move teams, but we're going to be able to just basically outspam this thing. Turtwig, good night, piss off. I'm sure this guy can't wait to use Victory Bell when the Great League comes back next week. Man, I'm excited for the Great League next week. We're going to have the World Championship event, which I keep going on about. I'm definitely very excited for it though. And of course we have GoFest coming up, the global GoFest in a couple of weeks, so it should be quite interesting times. Now we pick up a very bad lead for this team, but we do have Grass Knot on this. Now does the opponent know about Grass Knot Bidoof? I'm sounding like Jamie Finn here. If they don't know, they're about to find out, but they do swap out. I wouldn't mind just going straight Crunch here, because if you do manage to take out this Ducklet, you're only revealing Crunch, right? So like, you're not really revealing the full moveset, which is fair enough. Looks like we're going to let this go and probably look to spark it down. The opponent does go for a Bubble Beam. Can we actually get to this move? We just about do. Bidoof do be thick out here. Look at this little thing. Look at this little thing. This little beaver is just going to town. And back in comes our little Pikachu wannabe, our little steel type Pikachu. I'm sure you guys have noticed as well, in the future generations of Pokemon, they have several Pikachu-like Pokemon like the Minoon and Plusle. Of course, Togedemaru, Emolga, and certain other ones are very Pikachu-esque. Now, even though resisted, this is a little cup and this thing hits like a truck. Will they respect it? They do not, and they get absolutely obliterated. In comes this thing. Now, they can know Bubble Beam and, of course, Thunderbolt. I believe they have another sort of harder hitting move, but at this point, we can probably look to just farm this the whole way down, and this is going to be a good game. The opponent can Bubble Beam all they wish. One Bubble Beam will not take us out. We have the Rock Slide loaded, and Wooper is about to get his ass whooped and sent into the next battle. Good games, Grant, and very well played. So we're just seeing Bidoof hanging on by an absolute thread, getting off last second moves, and just gaining as a shield advantage, which puts the opponent in such a tough position where they can't throw charge moves. We're going to hop into the next battle, and like I said, Grant always has some interesting teams. We've got a Flying Pikachu. This thing knows Fly, which is a pretty rare move, and in comes Turtwig. Now this is our Steel type, which of course resists the moves, so this should be okay. We do go for a Fell Stinger, which is neutral damage, of course, Poison Resist Bug, and Grass. It's super effective, right? So we're going to come into Bidoof. We're going to YOLO off the Crunch. The opponent does not let it go, unfortunately, and they're going to get off another move. We're going to offer a shield here, and we're going to look to hopefully try to farm this down. However, they're on Razor Leaf. Can we actually get this farm down? Oh, Simul KO. Unfortunate. Now, in this situation, we'll see who comes in first with what, but generally you want to wait till the very last second Unfortunately, Grant chooses first, but the opponent chooses wrong, and in comes Shelmet. They're absolutely core broken by the Stun Fisk. Double weak to it here. Of course, Bug does not enjoy Rock Slides, neither does Pikachu in terms of the Mud Shots, and of course Rock Slides adding up, and just every move hitting like a truck in this cup. We're going to come in with Togedemaru to get a little bit of usage out of it here, because of course the moves are resisted on the Pikachu. They do go for Body Slam. We're going to respect it, which would have been resisted, but of course would do a ton of damage. And you guys seen earlier, a resisted Wild Charge versus Wooper just absolutely wrecked it. And I would say that Wooper, it's probably a higher level and like less glassy than this thing. It almost one-shots the Pikachu from full health. Resistances do not matter in this cup. Just getting moves off in general will win you games in this cup, and definitely a very funny one there. Togedemaru getting the sweep, and we're going to hop into the next one to see what we're going to do. Togedemaru versus Howlucha. Spoofalucha, as I like to call this thing. Get ready for the catch cup, folks, because you're going to see these things everywhere. All of your local spoofers will be running around with Howluchas, and, well, of course a lot of people would have traded them by now. Certainly last season, I don't believe that 90% of the people I was running into in the catch cup were legitimate players who just traded Howluchas or live in Mexico or close to Mexico. That was a little bit of a running joke, Spoofalucha. But Sandtomb coming very super effective damage. Now, we only have a Rock Slide. Typically, you would run this with Muddy Water. You don't need to go for Earthquake. Basically because, you know, any move does like over 50, 60, 70% sometimes. You're seeing resisted Wild Charges just absolutely wreck ground type, so, you know, you don't really need to go for the harder hitting moves. And we're going to go for Rock Slide, which would definitely look to take this thing out, even though it is just neutral damage. And we're going to hopefully get off another one. The opponent does make it to a last second move, and I think we're happy enough to let this go at this point. It is the Power Punch, which you don't typically see this with Power Punch. Maybe this is better in this meta. Because of course they have Flying Press, which is a little bit more expensive, so maybe Power Punch and getting ramped up is a little bit better. We catch it on the Bidoof, and this is not going to be very nice. Power Punch doing about 35-40% of the Bidoof. Can we farm it down? We just about do. And they have a Ducklet in the back. Now we're going to probably get off Grass Knot here, which is beautiful. We actually do settle for the Crunch. I think Crunch is a little bit better because you're guaranteeing a shield pretty much, and wow. Yeah, that's exactly what I was... The opponent throws a move too. That's what I was sort of hoping for in that situation. Throw the Crunch, get the debuff, and we're looking to be in a great position now. We're going to go for this Wild Charge right here, which of course is going to get shielded. I think at that stage you probably just commit to the farm down, but that's absolutely fine. The opponent will get off a last second Bubble Beam, and that's going to be game over for the opponent. Good games, very well played. I think in that situation you just farm it down because you're giving them like a smither of hope. So good games nonetheless, and we're going to hop into the next one. We're eventually going to see, I think, Bidoof just wreck a team, which I'm quite looking forward to here. So in comes a Ducklet, Togedemaru, just an amazing answer to Ducklet, of course. And in comes this thing, and you guys have seen it, like, Wild Charges hit everything, and we're going to bank it and come into Bidoof and eat a move. Per Bidoof is just having to eat up moves here, and he gets the attack drop, of course. Now we're going to commit to the Grass Knot. I don't think we're going to be able to get it here. Unfortunately, Tackle, even though buff, is not the greatest energy generation move. We're going to commit to the Grass Knot. Will the opponent respect this? Does the opponent know Bidoof's moveset? They must just respect it. Like, that's it. That's the thing with this cup. They just respect anything. I wonder if we could have got off 2 crunches. It would have been very, very close there. And the opponent's going to just YOLO a move. Now, this can either be Icy Wind or Body Slam. Body Slam being resisted. And they're probably going to fire off another Body Slam here. I think Icy Wind is a bit more expensive. Oh, they do have an Icy Wind. I, of course, haven't played this cup, so I don't really know the counts. However, I have seen a few Chanseys, and I actually caught a 460 CP Chansey, which would come very close to being a rank 1, requiring only like 8k dust to power up. So I was thinking about being toxic with Chansey in this cup, but it's a Pokemon I've never used and never really want to use. Now the opponent swaps out to Ducklet, and at this point, if we debuff ourselves, they can just counter us down. So this is just kind of looking to be tough here. I think you sort of, yeah, it's just rough. There's not really a huge win condition there. We've just taken so much damage, and unfortunate, but good games nonetheless. And let's hop on into the next one to see what's going on with this. Do you guys like Little Cup? Let me know your opinions on Little Cup. I hope they kind of dial it back a little bit next season. I feel like the metas are very stale, a lot of Ducklets. Of course, we have the Bronzor in the normal Little Cup, and the opponents, they do go for the catch here. We're going to YOLO the Wild Charge, which I feel like won't quite one-shot this. The Shelmet is quite a good pick for this cup because it's quite bulky, and we're actually catching the move, which is beautiful here. This is all going to be resisted. Body Slam, the fast move's going to be resisted as well, and of course if they do go for Bug Buzz, that'll be resisted also. So we're going to go for this Rock Slide. I feel like the opponent should be letting this go, and of course, as you're seeing there, they're actually able to live it. Now, what I'd like to see here is a little bit of an overfarm, because you can see that these mud shots are looking like embers at the moment, just farming down this the Shelmet. Now we are getting quite low, so we may have to go for just a slight overfarm, maybe try to get to back-to-back rock slides, throwing on 4 for good timing as well, and then we'll look to take this out, and hopefully just get off this rock slide and whatever comes in, which of course it'll do like 50% to anything, and it would take out the Ducklet. The opponent may come in and try to shield once and farm down, but that's not going to be a good option for them. I think we do have some energy stored in Togedemaru, so we're probably going to let them they throw a move as well, which is insane. They probably should commit to the farm down right there. They bubble beam us to take us out, and back in comes this thing. We've got a wild charge loaded. They swap it out to Cottony. Very nice catch by the opponent once again. This wild charge is still no joke. Like, Togedemaru is just an absolute glass cannon in this cup. We're going to bank a wild charge, and then look to come into the Bidoof Meister, and look to probably tackle it the whole way down. Now, will the opponent be expecting the grass knot from Bidoof? This is going to do an absolute ton of damage. It almost takes it out, and at this stage, it's good games. And curtains for the opponent. It is just absolute curtains for the opponent. They just got Bidoofed out, and you love to see it. Looks like we're playing some nighttime games, and let's see what the nighttime opponents has for it. We've got a sleeper hat here, and we've got a Vigoroth. I was expecting to see this at some point. Your only real option is to try and one-shot it, or, you know, get a shield off the opponent. You have to gain some sort of an advantage here, because this is just a very tough position to be in. We're going to come into Galarian Stunfisk. Of course, rock slides are neutral on this thing, and they will go for either a body slam or a bulldoze. They do go for body slam, which is good for us, and they have another one loaded. We're going to let this go, and try to maybe look to go for a sweep of Bidoof. We're hoping the opponent lets us go, and it allows us to see what's in the back. They do let it go, thankfully. We're up 2-1 shields. I guess the opponent couldn't really go down 2 shields. And now this is all on the back of Bidoof. Can Bidoof sweep this entire match? We've got 2 shields, they've got 1. Now, are we going to make a savage call here? The opponent is most likely going for Bubble Beam, and Grant thinks so too, and he's just going to let that go. Amazing call by Grant. Now at this point, I think this is just another Bubble Beam. We'll have a look here. It is just another Bubble Beam. I've seen Grant play, and he does like to make some savage calls. Looks like we're going to catch a move and clear the debuff. Really like this play right here. Really just setting up Bidoof with a ton of energy, and you know, 2 shields to go for the sweep. Unfortunately, we're getting into the range now where there's not really a whole lot we can shield, right? And in comes this thing. In comes a Stunfisk. This thing is going to get absolutely obliterated by Bidoof. Can we get to another move in time? Oh, it's so unfortunate, folks. It is so unfortunate. We maybe could have tried to get rid of the Ducklet a little bit sooner, or even though it's sad, try to shield one of the Bubble Beams. We were just on a little bit too low health there, unfortunately, and that's a good game. It's a little bit difficult to know where to use your shields in the Little Cup at times, and we're seeing quite an interesting lead. The moves are resisted on both sides here. However, the Felt Stinger will be doing some damage, of course. The opponent is Dark type. Now, this could be a Body Slam or a Crunch. Yeah, there we go. That does so much damage. And in comes Ducklet. Ducklet is not really what you would expect to see come in against a Steel type with Rock Slide. That doesn't actually one-shot them. Like, that just goes to show you how broken this Pokemon is in this cup. But I think at this point, I probably would have let that go. We're going to try and get a shield off the opponent, I suppose, to allow us to go for several wild charges. But I think I probably would have went for the farm down with Togedemaru, and then look to fire off multiple Felt Stingers on the Dark type that comes back in. We'll see what we decide to do here. I think we come in with this and just spam off these moves. Each one will be getting more and more damage. We're going to come in with Bidoof and just tackle the absolute life out of this thing. We're going to invest a shield, because Dino hits like an absolute truck. Hopefully no debuff here. And the opponent comes in with a Cottony. Now, we're all resisted here. This is super unfortunate. All of our moves are resisted on both Pokemon, except for Fell Stinger, of course, which is neutral. We do go for the Crunch. We do get off another one. And like I said, even though resisted, this still should hurt quite a lot. Can we still take this match? The opponent lets it go. We're going to go for a Wild Charge, which I think from this range would actually look to one-shot it. Boom. Get out of here. And what are we going to do? Can we get this out move off? We go for the Felt Stinger, I think, here. This is super effective damage, and I think this should take this out from this range. We're on 1 HP in a dream. We do take them out, and that's a good game, well played. Felt Stinger is such a weak move. It's really just there to buff your attack. But in the Little Cup, it's hitting like a bug buzz, and good games. We've got a very good lead with Ducklet here. We're just seeing Ducklets everywhere, and we have just so many good answers to it in this team. Now, we do have a Confusion user. I think we probably should have came in with our Galarian Stunfisk on this guy, because of course we'll resist the confusions. The Seed Bombs will be neutral. Looks like we're going to get off a last second move here, and I feel like the opponent are just focusing on fast move pressure, so they probably shield this up because they just want to spam us down. Now, we do get the debuff, which is quite favourable for us, and we can go for Rock Slides on this thing. Now, we may have to shield up a Grass Knot, which I think is a perfectly good play here, because, you know, in the Little Cup, you sort of just have to shield everything, especially whenever you see a Pokemon like this in the team. you're just assuming that the opponent is going for fast move pressure. So you really do want to shield those up, make sure that you're keeping some health on your Pokemon and not just getting beat down with fast moves. Even double shielding this, I would be perfectly fine with. This will come pretty close to taking us out. We do, however, get off the move, and we're going to save a shield for, by the looks of things, Togedemaru. Togedemaru, I think up a shield can sweep pretty much anything. Can we get off the rock slide just in time? We just about do. And hopefully that's going to put us in a position where we can actually hopefully swap out right here, keep this alive in the back. The opponent actually CMPs us. That's even better. That's even better. I was thinking we want to clear the debuff, but in comes a Shelmet. Now, we've seen that wild charges do a decent amount of damage to this thing. Now, I don't mind shielding this here, but you definitely need to be able to take it out before debuffing yourself. So maybe you could have let the first one go, and then, yeah, because look at this now, we have to throw 2 moves, and it's just going to be a race here with the Ducklet. At this point, I feel like a Bubble Beam will take us out. Can we get to this just in time? We actually just farm it the whole way down, and that's a good game. Good game, very well played. I think we could have potentially ate the move first, just to make sure that we're not debuffed and going into that. But good games, and Grant just while charging the bug types and almost taking them out. Togedemaru looks like a ton of fun as well. We get a very unfavourable lead here. Our best answer to this is Galarian Stunfisk, unfortunately. And I think that's just a Muddy Water. I think that was 4. So we're in a very tough position here now without having Muddy Water. Now we're going to get off back-to-back rock slides, which is going to give us a chance. Hopefully, we can come in with Bidoof, get a farm down on this thing after the opponent either shields up or lets one of these go. I'm hoping they let it go here, and they do shield it up. Now that actually could put us in a prime position with Togedemaru to come in and just get a ton of energy, right? And just fire for the wild charge, get off a wild charge on the Stunfisk, and then maybe look to sweep with the Bidoof. The opponent can Brave Bird here, and as you see, it does a lot of damage. We're going to farm them the whole way down. Did they get a move? They don't get a move, and we're probably going to look to go for a wild charge on this bad boy, get it pretty low, and hopefully get a tackle down with Bidoof and come out with energy. Yep, we're swapping out, and I think we stored a wild charge right there, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to go ahead and probably respect one of these moves and look to try and get a nasty farm down. The opponent comes back in with Jump Off, and we're going to be able to go for maybe multiple crunches here. The opponent's on Fairy Wind, which is amazing for energy generation, but as you're seeing, that just adds up so much on that thing, and at this point, we can probably just shield this Aerial Ace coming through, and we're going to be able to get off another crunch, and we have a move loaded, I think, on the other thing. So we should be looking to be in a good position. I don't think this will quite take us out Aerial Ace. Yeah, it's a very bad move. The opponent definitely should be on Acrobatics, and we're going to have a Grass Knot loaded for the Stunfisk. Bidoof is going to sweep this game. Good games, very well played. And big thank you and shout out to Grant, getting the screenshot in there as well. Big shout out to Grant for sending in the battles, very much appreciated. And thank you very much everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much, like I said, for the support on the recent videos. If you did enjoy today's video, likes and comments, and of course subscribers are very much appreciated. I'm definitely trying to get up to 2.5k here quite soon. We're about 47 away. So if you would do that, I'd very much appreciate it. And feel free to join us in Discord, where I've been streaming my sets in there quite recently. I'm trying to make a climb to Legend in Ultra League. I'm doing quite well. I hit Expert, was it yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? Fortunately, I've dropped about 90 points since hitting Expert, but of course I do want to hit Legend this week. My sort of goals this season are to hit Legend a little bit sooner than last season. Last season I hit Expert and Legend for the first time ever, and in the final week I hit Legend in the Catch Cup. And we now have this week of Ultra League, and next week is Great League and all of the open leagues. I do want to hit it this week, because I feel like Ultra League is a bit more of a hard meta. It's a little bit more difficult than Great League. So I feel like it would be quite a nice achievement to hit Legend in something other than Great League. Because of course I'm very comfortable with Great League, and it's something that I've played quite a lot. So being able to improve and actually hit Legend in a cup that I'm not the most comfortable with, I feel like will be quite a good achievement. And Ultra League is something that I'm trying to get a lot better at. We're going to have it every season, and even though these little cups can be fun at times, I highly recommend saving your Stardust and building Ultra League Pokemon instead. Like I said, it's going to be something that we're going to have out of every season, at least 4 to 5 weeks out of every season. So 1/3 of the time, you may have an option, or you may be forced to play Ultra League. So I definitely recommend, building for those instead of little cups, to be perfectly honest. Unless you're like Grant here, and of course you enjoy using spicier picks and having a little bit of fun with Bidoof in these cups. But thanks very much everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time for a brand new video.